nice coffee break, mingle a little bit, get some food and drink in you. The next part of the session is called 2020. So getting out the vote in 2020, what's our plan and how can you help? And this session is designed to give you some insight into these at-large coordinator positions that we discussed earlier this morning. So these cover, I'm gonna have to go through them now, chapter development, communications, events and fundraising, GOTV, get out the vote, membership and IT, study abroad, postcards, and press. All right. So you're going to hear from these different positions and learn a little bit more about what's going on. Specifically, at the end of the year, we were kind of doing a phase of self-reflection within Democrats Abroad. So I asked the chapter development coordinators specifically in the context of this meeting with the overall heading, getting out the vote at home and abroad, how their role contributes to this end. So what are they actively doing that's going to help us get out the vote? And beyond that, I wanted to discuss what's planned in the specific area. What's planned with chapter development? How are we going to get out the vote there? Also some self-reflection again, what's worked well in the past, and where do you feel like you need some support going forward? What are our plans, and how can we get out the vote? So having said that, I'm going to invite our first at-large coordinator up to the stage, Quaide Williams. Quaide is based outside of Cologne in Schladern an der Sieg. The Großstadt. All right, the floor is yours.
It sounds very exotic, but it's not really. So first of all, I only have 10 minutes. I'm from the South, so I'll go against my nature and try to speak as fast as I can. I first want to say, oh my God, wow, this is so amazing. Candace already thanked all of y'all for coming. I want to thank Candace and Emily, Patrick and other Emily and the whole Munich team. Wow, this is the biggest AGM of any country committee ever. Fabulous, really, really wonderful. Of the whole world ever. And actually, I've been to about 10 global meetings, and I don't think I've seen but one global meeting that had this many people. So, very, very exciting. Also, Candace was a little bit upset with me because I don't have a PowerPoint, but I have a striptease. So, Candace mentioned briefly the co-op table. That co-op table, that's all you see if you look around the corner there. Sorry, the co-op is usually in my cellar, and if you look around the corner there are boxes and boxes and boxes of all the sweatshirts and t-shirts and buttons that you see. We have a ton. The co-op is a way, it's something I started about 8-9 years ago, where we, in Germany as a project, we buy things in bulk and sell them not only to our own chapters, but to the world, actually, to all the other country committees around the world. We used to not have brochures and postcards and all that, now we do. And we have the best co-op table, probably at any AGM in the world, and that's not just so that you can, show your pride as a Democrat, it's also so that you can help raise some money for Germany. We really do need it. We do have more money than I ever had in the bank when I was chair of Germany, but we're gonna need it for the coming year. Please go, you only have 330 shopping days until Christmas. You really need to buy some t-shirts, sweatshirts, everything, fill up, load up. So the striptease, I'm just gonna show you the wonderful t-shirts in all the rainbow colors, got it. Okay, now I get to my actual presentation, sorry. So, DA Germany, not just this AGM, but DA Germany in itself has grown so much over the past years. When I first got involved in 2004 with Americans Overseas for Carry, I was like, Democrats Abroad, this weird little group of like 10 people. I didn't know, and I hadn't really actually met the people, so it just seemed weird. And then when I got involved and learned how many thousands of people were in Germany, it's a lot different now. We are over 10,000, that's really, really fantastic. Of course, in election years, it explodes every time. So 2008, we almost doubled our membership, and I suspect in 2016, we're gonna do pretty well.
2020.
Sorry, what did I say?
16.
I didn't want to talk about 2016 at all, sorry, okay, 2020. We grew in 2016 also, quite a bit. Okay, that's all I'll say about 2016. Chapter structure, we are, like Candace mentioned, and Kenton also presented, divided into many chapters. When I first got involved, we only had 9 chapters. Then we started seeing kind of the stress fractures, how this is working, and things that weren't working. And things that weren't working were clearly, and also mentioned, we were not servicing enough of the country. Only, Munich, I was the chapter chair in Munich for a while, a couple of years, and we really only did things in Munich. We tried in Nuremberg a few times. We'd go up there and try to get something going, and we're never able to. When I became chair of Germany, we did it a little bit more. We borrowed from DA Japan some terminology, precincts, and we started building those up. I think that was a good idea, but now it's gotten even better. And whatever we're going to call them in the future, and however we're going to organize, it is really, really important that we go out, that we spread out. And so, how many people are in this room right now who do not know whether in their city there is something already organized? What's your town?
Schönberg. It's a very small town near Passau.
Okay, I live in Schladen, so Passau, there you go. Okay. Anything else? Anybody? Nobody? Yeah, it feels like a Baptist church. I'm going to call you all up to the front. Sorry, but really, there are enough people in this room where you can get something started. Someone said earlier, you need a good team. You need one person who can start it, who can just say, you know what, every first Wednesday, we're going to meet in a cafe, and then you'll find another person who says, cool, I like you, don't like you, and we'll get together and we'll do this, we'll keep this going. That's a very, very important thing, and we want to keep that going. In 2019, thanks to Candace's really hard work, she's done a lot of this by herself, we have gotten some really good precincts going, and the list was already up here, so I won't bore you with that. We did start dividing chapters, and that's also an idea. We divided the Frankfurt chapter once, and we divided the NRW chapter most recently into 3 parts. That's also a way we can reorganize and reach more people. 2019, another reason that we did the job that we did, setting up these smaller teams, is that we really do want to have global presidential primary voting stations, official voting stations, in as many places as we can. And thanks to the job of Candace and her team, we do have the most of any country committee in the world, including the 2 that are bigger than us. So but it's not just about one event, and it's not just about this one election cycle. We do want to, even if we start with one person, we want a little team in as many places as we can get going, because we want it to be sustainable. If it's just social events in non-election years, so that in election years they can get back in the groove of things and do gotv work. Good, I'll skip all that. In 2020, we want to do more events, and we want to do them in more places. So that's why I did kind of, call you all to the front or raise your hand. If there are places, you know what I look like now, you see my really sexy vote from abroad sweatshirt, come up to me in the break and let me know, and maybe we can get something going in your area. I would really like to help you. One other thing that I haven't been in my job until now very good at, and I think it is really important for my job in the next year. The chapter chairs we have an excellent group of chapter chairs. The 12 chapter chairs that we have are doing a really fantastic job. But I do want to also help in those cities where they already exist. I want to help them also not just spread out and go to more places, but also deepen and help them with more ideas and maybe just an ear that they can bitch or cry on my shoulder, whatever. And I think that also is very helpful, because I was a chapter chair myself, and I know it's a very, very hard job, and they're doing a really great job, but that's my job, to support them. One idea that I had that I wanted to share with you was, this is something we did 8 years ago. I know we're bringing it up from a long time ago.
That's illegal, man.
What's illegal?
Never mind, it's not.
Okay, no, it's no longer illegal. We have this really great road trip in 2012. I don't know if we want to do something like that this year. It was a lot of work. Katie Solon was our international treasurer before she became international chair. She drove with us on the bus. She helped us go to a lot of places. It was 6 weeks, 13 countries, 27 cities. We did a really, I was the driver, so no wrecks. And we had not only a lot of fun, we motivated a lot of young people to get involved and stay involved in Democrats Abroad, and a lot of them were in this room. And I think that something like that, we should think about, if not for EMEA, at least for Germany, that we can really make a big splash in the media, and that also, just that galvanizes the people in local areas. And so I would recommend something like that. You can, I think I can click on one of these. We had one thing that was really great, I thought, was we took pictures of all the people that we registered to vote, and the ones who wanted, of course. And they had these, I vote from abroad because it's my civic duty, where I live and where I vote from. And those went through social media, even back then, we did have Facebook back then. And it was really fantastic. I mean, all those people shared that, of course, everywhere they went. And if we did it right, then I think, okay, there's my bell, right? All right. I hope we can think of something like that this year. I can't drive a bus for 6 weeks this summer, but I would love to do something.